What's going on, everybody? This Afro Think Tank. With all the xenophobia propaganda that has been thrown out there that's trying to get African Americans to have problems with continental Africans, mainly Nigerians. They're trying to get African Americans and Nigerians to have problems. They're trying to get South Africans and Nigerians to have problems. If you notice, it's always the three countries. Something to do with Nigeria, South Africa, African Americans. As we are African Americans, we are an ethnic group defined within America, right? They're always trying to get us to fight each other, right? And there's always negative propaganda because, you know, negativity sells. Positivity doesn't sell. And I guarantee you this video won't get many views. It's going to be too positive. It's going to be too positive. You see, Nigeria, right, is the motherland for a lot of Africans, all right? Nigeria is the motherland for the majority of the African diaspora, all right? And when I say Nigeria, I know I'm saying Nigeria, but Ghana as well, Togo, Benin, but mostly Nigeria. Gotta understand, there was a point in time where Ghana and Nigeria, technically, from the distance, were indistinguishable because the people melded and merged. The people speaking groups, you gotta understand, right? You gotta understand, we just go back a few hundred years, what you see is not what you see, right? In Nigeria, even though it's one country, now, because it was forced upon them by the European colonizers, which, by the way, the European colonizer has a strong hold on Nigeria politicians. That's the last thing we need. We need to get rid of a lot of these puppets and get some good governance, right? Like we need the governance that they got in Namibia. We need the governance that they got in Rwanda. We need something like that. You know, we need some AES governance, right? Some youth, some young, some motivators, and they're there. They're in Nigeria. They're fighting. Because keep in mind, the caste system in Nigeria, here's the thing, which y'all understand, the caste system in Nigeria is an age caste system. That's why you see all these 1,000-year-old geezer mummies. They should be wrapped up in shit. They should be already in museums, right? But they not. They run in the government. And most of them are illiterate. Most of them can't even read. They don't understand politics. They're just rulers, ruling in the old ruling way, right? So as these old geezers die and retire, and the new crop come up who are more educated, got more data, got more information, got more knowledge, got more everything, slowly but surely the Nigerian government will get itself together. It's going to happen naturally. Even it should happen faster. We want it to happen like this, but in life, things don't happen when you want it to happen. And things don't always happen quickly, right? But the people themselves, all right, are great and amazing because they show you how they can continue to live and try to thrive in a place where the government doesn't do anything for them. So the people are resilient. And the people are amazing and beautiful in in Nigeria. Just like they're amazing and beautiful in almost every part of Africa. Even in South Africa. They're amazing and beautiful. As right now, they're being looked at, South Africans are being looked at as a big blob of xenophobic, whitewash, hating-ass Coonarians. They're trying to plaster South African blacks as the most diabolical group of black people on the planet. Don't let them trick you. Don't let them play with you. Don't let them play with you. All right? Listen, if you're black, you know how black people are. I don't care what language they speak. I don't care what ethnicity. I don't care what their culture. There is something about being black African, right, that we can all come. We know how each other operate. That's why we hurt each other's feelings, because we know how to do it. We know exactly what to say to hurt each other's feelings, right? We know how to press each other's buttons. We are the same. I want you to understand that West Africa is a lot bigger than just the West Africa they show you on TV. West Africa starts all the way up in Cameroon, goes all the way down to South Africa, okay? That's the western part of Africa, all right? The whole thing is the western part of Africa. The whole thing is much bigger than what your eyeballs have been programmed to think about when you think of West Africa. Central Africa is a lot bigger than what you think. It's the whole middle. It's the guts. It's the inside, right? That's where we from. In East Africa, it's all of that. All of that on the East Coast. You gotta think about geography and what we saying when we say these words. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put some positive. Like I said, I may get 100. I may get 100 views. YouTube is not gonna. I guarantee you, you're gonna have to share this video. YouTube is. I guarantee you, they're like, oh hell, a positive black shit. Hey, we need to cap that shit at like 1,000 at the most. At the most, we get this motherfucker 1,000. We ain't letting it go past that, right? Because that's how serious it is. Every mechanism of white supremacy, in every apparatus of social media, is fighting against us. But the thing is, we baby as kids, we don't die, we multiply, and resistance is futile, and one day we will, in fact, take over. All right? So I want you to sit back and watch this and see how people experience are when they go to Nigeria, especially South Africans, because Nigerians love South Africans. Now, their feelings a little hurt because the South Africans are not quite aware of what it is that Nigeria has done for them. Do you think the white apartheid government is going to teach South Africans what Nigeria did, how they sacrificed for them? You think they want South Africans and Nigerians to unite? You crazy? Listen, white folks are trying to survive. They not playing, they trying to survive. They're going to do everything, and they ain't got no shame about it. Understand, we need to start playing a high-level propaganda game of ourselves. We got to stop being so reactionary, and we got to see, every time we see some shit that pisses us off, we got to take a moment and pause and say, who benefits from that? Who benefits from that? Where is this coming from? What's the motivation? Who has the means to pump out this kind of content? Is this the truth? We all need to start investigating this bullshit. Because when you do, you'll find out that most of this shit is making mountains out of molehills. Okay? So without further ado, let's look at some positive reactions of South Africans when they go to Nigeria. And let me tell you something. This is true. And you Nigerians, right, the ones outside of Nigeria, you guys suck. Let me tell you, you guys are the worst Nigerian PR team ever. You know why? Because you're the main ones talking shit about your country because you don't like your government. There's a difference between not liking your government and your government not operating and your country and your people. You Nigerians outside of Nigeria need to start bigging up your people, bigging up your culture, all right? And you can still talk shit about your government because you have the right to do so. But you guys need to start painting Nigeria in a better light because you guys do a terrible job. Ask anybody that got negative things to say about Nigerians. They will tell you they heard it from a Nigerian. Huh? Right. You bastards who was able to get out of Nigeria because y'all got some money. Some of y'all is uppity motherfuckers. Right? Y'all got some money. Y'all get out. Y'all talk shit about everybody else. You guys need to start representing your country and distinguishing your country and their people from the puppet government. So that people are like, damn, maybe I should go visit Nigeria. Maybe I should go invest my money in Nigeria. Maybe I should go add to the economy of Nigeria by going to spending my money at some hotel. Maybe, because this is the thing was going to happen. When people start going to Nigeria, right, Nigerians will start making money. But then people who start going to Nigeria will start criticizing the same things that you criticize about the infrastructure, about the land, about the airport, and then the pressure will be on Nigeria to make themselves look good because now everybody's eyes is on Nigeria and what they have to offer on the inside, right? And then it will force through shame these people to, keep up with their properties, keep up with the maintenance of the things that's supposed to look nice after you build it. Because I swear to God, Nigeria got all kind of infrastructure. They build all kind of shit. They just don't maintain it because they don't have an industry of maintenance service work in Nigeria. This shit just get built and it just get left. All right? And that's a problem. That's easily fixed by somebody coming in and seeing the problem and saying, damn, that's a business opportunity. Because every single problem in Nigeria is a business opportunity for a Nigerian in the diaspora or African American in the diaspora or African Caribbean or Afro Latino in the diaspora or an continental African from another African country. All the problems of Africa are potential business opportunities for us. So we need to look at it that way. And not look at it as a problem that we got to wait for somebody else to fix, but look at it as a problem that can we fix and make some money off of it. All right? And I understand it's hard to do that when you got a government that just, is completely and totally corrupt. But hey, some of y'all know how to work systems. You go into a country, you see how the Romans do your best to operate within that country and do the best that you can. And when shit get better, you'll be able to do better. Right? But those are for the entrepreneurial, international risk takers, not for everybody. You can easily go on a vacation in Nigeria, have a good time, don't invest, don't anything, but you'll still be adding to the economy and putting money in people's pockets and feeding other families. All right? And listen, Nigeria is the root of the diaspora. The root, the trunk of the tree is calling for its branches. Do you understand? The trunk of the African tree is calling to its branches to unite. Do you understand what's happening? And the world is trying to stop that shit from happening. Because the moment it happens, it's over for them. Because the Nigerians in Nigeria, let me tell you something. The Nigerians in Nigeria are better than you Nigerians outside of Nigeria. What you gonna do? The Nigerians in Nigeria are peaceful, loving, just out of this world, amazing groups of people. You bastards that left Nigeria, you done became Americanized. You done became Britishized. You done became Canadized. You done became Austrianized. All right? And you talk your shit, right? And you act like everybody else, and you think, and you kind of uppity. Like, not all y'all, but some of y'all know what I'm talking about. But the people, the Nigerians in Nigeria, sweet, humble, amazing groups of people. You see why they're easily taken advantage of. They're so goddamn nice and proper and culturally rich and asset rich. Nigerians are asset rich. They don't know it. But you got some people who you would consider poor that's really millionaires, multi-millionaires. They don't know it though, right? But they're multi-millionaires to the standards at which you would see somebody with assets. I'd rather have some of these, hey look, some of these people got so much goddamn land with so many resources on it, just sitting there like, yeah, this is my family land. I had it about 1,000 years and shit. It's just dead. I'm like, what do you mean? They're just growing crops and eating their food and shit, not knowing what they got. But one day they're going to find out what they got. So it's going to be over, right? But anyway, without further ado, let's look at this positive content that will not get shared because none of y'all going to share it. Because y'all going to go hee hee ha ha and move on to the next drama. All right, not all y'all, just some of y'all. Anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. This is Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach them. I'm out.
So I've been in Nigeria for like a week and a half now, and I've been meaning to make videos about almost everything. But I think the one thing that stands out for me is the reception here. I am amazed at the warmth that I have received ever since I got to this country. It even almost kind of makes me feel guilty because I know that Nigerians in South Africa don't receive this kind of reception. Immediately people know that you're Nigerian, they become suspicious, they even don't give you the like sort of decency. Immediately they know you're Nigerian. The way foreigners are treated in South Africa it's embarrassing, especially when you go out to other countries as a South African and you realize people actually treat you like a guest, even when you're not their guest. South Africans need to travel more. South Africans need to go to other countries, especially African countries, to see how people are warm, welcoming in their own countries. And I'm not gonna say that there's not a lot of things that is wrong in this country. There's a lot, right? And there's a lot of things that are wrong in South Africa too. But it's the people. It's the reception you get. It's amazing. South Africans can learn a lot from traveling. Get out of your country. I feel like South Africa is fast becoming the United States of the world. You know, it's become the United States of African countries, feeling like, you know, it's the best thing after sliced cake. Because the way we treat other Africans in South Africa is embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. When I got here, did not expect that people would be so respectful, so welcoming, so warm, so receptive. And when I saw that, I'm like, I was embarrassed, honestly, on behalf of all South Africans. I know that not all South Africans are xenophobic. I'm not xenophobic, but I know a large majority are. We can do better.
I've just came out of the Nike Art Gallery and there were some ladies sitting just outside, and one of them was like, "Are you from South Africa?" And I was like, "Yeah." They were like, "We can tell." I was like, "How can you tell?" So they explained something to me that they can tell with either the face, apparently we've got a certain face, or by the body shape, which they call it, she said an A, isn't it? Yeah, an A shape, which is ATM apparently, or whatever it might be. So I was like, oh, okay. So, you know, with all the banter that's going on online, I said to her, normally I say to people when they ask, where you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from the UK. And then they'll say, oh, where you from? And then I'll be like, South Africa, because I'm trying to stay away from the drama, you know, from the online drama. But yeah, it was nice. They were very nice. They told me that they love South Africans. And I was like, oh. So yeah, I'm meeting real people, not the keyboard warriors, okay? So I thought I would share this, so made my day, and they told me I'm pretty, so.
There is no country that has made sacrifices for humanity like Nigeria. We were in the forefront of the struggle against apartheid. Nigerian salaries, civil servants, part of their salary was cut to pay ANC to continue fighting. Mm-hmm. We gave scholarship to South Africans to come to Nigeria and study in Nigerian universities. We gave money to Mandela during the struggle. And then, for all these things we have done, Nigeria has not been paid a dime. And then somebody somewhere will look at you and call you a nation of criminals. Before our independence, Nigeria was in Congo. We stabilized this country. Mm-hmm. After our independence, we were in Tanzania. We provided troops in Lebanon in 1978. Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed.
Nigeria.
Peacekeeping.
Before our independence, Nigeria provided 45,000 troops to World War II. We helped free Europe from the hand of Nazi. Nigerians fought in East Africa. Nigerians fought in Burma. Nigerians fought in China. Nigerians fought in Germany. Lives of Nigerians were wasted. Put that aside. Come forward to 80s. Look at what we did in Liberia. Look at what we did in Sierra Leone. We were there under Colonel Olagunye Onilola. He was the head of UNISOM that brought peace to Somalia. There is no country.
Most people will tell you not to come here, but this is one of the most interesting places I've been in Africa. This is day 4 in Nigeria, and today is the big day. We woke up early, and as we drove through the city, you could hear things ramping up. Riders already outside, horses being prepared. You could tell something big was about to happen, so I was anxious and excited. We made it to the Eid prayer grounds, and there were thousands and thousands of people all lined up praying together. You could hear it across the whole field, and this is when I crashed my drone into a nearby tree, but one of the local horsemen found it and brought it back to me. And in that moment, it reminded me there are good people everywhere. But you can also tell how serious this was. Media was everywhere, security, government officials, even the governor. And this is where I met the Emir's brother. He was so down to earth and chilled. We talked for a bit, then we both looked at one another and said we look alike, so that was pretty cool. Then we made it to the Durbar festival, and this is when everything really started. The colors stood out first: red, blues, gold details in the fabrics. The garments were long and flowing, moving as they rode. The horses were fully dressed, patterns and fabrics layered across them. You could hear the hooves hitting the ground, the chanting in the background, the guns being fired as the Emir approached. Men of different ages, different color horses. It was quite a sight to see. Then we made it to the palace, and everyone gathered there. As soon as we got there, men surrounded us playing music, drums, instruments, constant sound. The energy just kept flowing. And then we were invited inside. The Emir asked where I was from, and he thought I was Hausa at first. When I told him I was African American, he was surprised, but you could see that he was honored to have me. We talked, took photos. I invited him to the US, and I told him how much I'm enjoying my time here. He replied and said, "This is your second home. You're welcome anytime." And during all of this, I met one of my followers. He invited me to his home later that night. When I got there, I was surprised. Large homes, these huge compounds, a side of northern Nigeria people don't usually see. We sat down, ate, talked, laughed. I met his family, just real hospitality, which is hard to find. And I had a moment to think. For a long time, we have been taught to distance ourselves from Africa, from our roots. And I myself was once guilty of that, but thanks to travel, that all has changed. Being here, it changed something for me. Out of all the countries I've been to, this is one of the places I felt most connected. One of the places that felt most like home, even coming from Louisiana. Seeing people who look like me, even though we spoke different languages. It's really hard to explain, but it's a feeling you only get by being here. And I found myself thinking about my ancestors, knowing that many of them walked the same ground. I started wondering, did we walk the same paths? What towns did they live in, or stand next to people who might share the same blood as me? It was one of those moments when you start questioning everything, not just what's around you, but what you've been taught about places like Nigeria and Africa in general. And today showed me something. There's real power in learning, but also in unlearning. So yeah, this is day 4 in Nigeria, and if you are enjoying this series, make sure you follow me as I travel through Nigeria. Peace.
South Africans always say Nigerians are problematic everywhere they go. Like they say, wherever they are problems. So I got my brother here from Uganda. So bro, do you have Nigerians in Uganda?
Yes, we have many Nigerians in Uganda.
So, bro, are they problematic?
Nigerians are not problematic in Uganda, they are not.
So they do no crimes, they do no drugs, no...
A few maybe may deal in that, but on a large scale, Nigerians are not problematic at all in Uganda. They are not. They're doing businesses. They're dealing in real estate, the nightlife. They have invested so much in the nightlife in Uganda. So you cannot say Nigerians are problematic. Not really. Instead, they are bringing money. They are making money for the country.
Okay, they know how to hustle. They hustle hard, eh?
They are very good hustlers. They understand business first of all. Like. You cannot say they are. What do you mean by saying Nigerians are problematic?
Bro, this is what South Africans always say. They say Nigerians sell drugs to their kids. They say Nigerians do human trafficking, you know. It's like they say that Nigerians are just problematic, just only.
That's a very big lie. According to the Nigerians we have back there in Uganda, they are very good people, they are nice people.
Bro, even here in Rwanda we have them and they are really not problematic, bro. So South Africans, you got yourself, you see you people are the ones who spread lies all over the world. You people correct your security systems, correct your police, your corrupt systems, your corrupt police, your corrupt government.
They need to go to school. They need to teach their children. They need to give them some good education. It's not just about even going to school, but even the type of education they're giving these South Africans makes it questionable.
Yeah.
Because what they're doing now, what they're doing today, what they're saying, it's really shocking. Even if I don't even know how to say it.
Man, they are xenophobic to other Africans, bro.
There's a very big problem they have. I don't know where they're getting the poison from. I don't know where they're getting from the hatred towards fellow Africans, where it is coming from. But me, all in all, I think it's just poor education.
Yeah, probably. You know, they have a white education system, you know? Yeah.
I think they have taught them to hate themselves.
Yeah.
They don't love their fellow African brothers. And there are very many South Africans who are not in the country, who went elsewhere to make a living also. We have South Africans in Uganda, we have them in Rwanda, everywhere.
Yes.
But you cannot wake up one day and you say the reason why you're poor is because of the South Africans or the Nigerians in Uganda. That's a total lie.
Yes. So guys, this is from a Ugandan point of view and a Rwandan point of view. So other people, Kenya, Tanzania, you people tell us, are Nigerians problematic in your countries or it's just the lies from South Africans?
I told myself I was ready for Nigeria, but I was not ready. First of all, Lagos is the largest city in Africa by population with over 15 million people. And the second you land, you're thrown straight into things. No warm up, no easing in, no nothing. One of the non-negotiables that you have to do when you land is to get suya. Nigeria's most iconic street food, think spiced grilled meats that people will drive across the city for. All right, so let me tell you how we got here. We thought we could make our appointment at the passport office, but nobody warned us about the dress code. No shorts, no skin, no tattoos, absolutely no lashes, but that's a story for another day. So I had to buy a boo-boo, but the woman at the shop ended up throwing in a free headscarf as well. And naturally, I asked her to help me put it on so she could show me how it's done.
Yeah, let's go.
I loved it. After that, it was time to go eat and then it was time to go home. But will we make it? Because driving at night in Nigeria is crazy.
You kill us! You kill us!
All Africans are welcomed in Nigeria. Nigeria is a home for all Africans. Forget that boundary. Do you know that Nigeria is a country for all Africans? Let me tell you guys a story. When I first came to Nigeria 2 years ago, I came at the airport and I realized that my documents were actually, I did those things from the website and I got a scam document. They now told me, if you are not an African girl, we would have just deported you back to your country. But since you're an African, they made an effort for me. So at least they processed those documents in the fastest time period. And even this one, they took me to where I am going to sleep. Immigration officer themselves, they decided to take me to where to sleep because I took long at the airport and I could not move at that time alone at the night in the country where I am alone as a girl. Imagine. They told me, if you are not an African, we would have deported you back to your country. What are you saying? Nigeria is a home for all Africans. Forget that boundary. In Nigeria, if you are an African, you will feel welcome. You will not hear anything that, which country are you from? Why are you doing in our country? You will not hear it. Don't forget that thing they talk about Nigeria here. If you come and visit Nigeria, you understand what I'm talking about. I feel so at home. I don't even feel like I've left my country. I don't even feel like I've left my country. Imagine.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such an extent that you bleach? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.